Okay. I was getting confused. You gotta use smaller words sometimes with me. I'm like, I'm not really good at those. But yeah, we'd like to definitely have some people come up here and speak and give out some information tonight. And first person we'd like to welcome up to the podium is Michael Merren from John Knox Pantry. Please give Michael a warm round of applause and welcome. Keep going in his right here. There you go. Thank you, Michael.
Good evening, everyone. Usually at my pantry, I have someone who sits there with a bell to tell me when I've spoken too long. We start out every morning with a little bit of an update on what we're doing and what we have planned for the day, some things that are coming up in the week, and then a little prayer. And one of my volunteers has graciously volunteered to ring a bell when I've been going a little too long. I'll look for signs of boredom, falling asleep. I'm not really good with 5 minutes. I come from a Catholic background. I was a Catholic priest and was a preacher for many years, and so I'm very comfortable talking for very long periods of time. I'll try to keep it short. I've been with John Knox Food Pantry for just less than 6 months now, and I come to John Knox from Melchizedek Ministries, if you know that organization, and I've been working in hunger for about 10 years now, and I've seen a lot of things over the years, a lot of changes, a lot of really impressive things, and some really very shocking things, and some scary things as well. And I'm sure you can all relate to that, and you work in the same field. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the pantry, and then a story about one of our clients, and then I'm going to stop myself before I tell you about much more. John Knox this year, when they brought me on in October, asked me to do a little bit of an overhaul of the operation. John Knox Food Pantry has been in operation for about 22 years, and they provide one of the last limited choice pantries in the Access Network, meaning that they don't allow the clients per se to choose everything off the shelf that they would normally do like you would do in a grocery store. And they wanted to stop that. They wanted to go to a retail style shopping facility. And that's one of the big goals that we had for this year was providing a client choice pantry. And if you read our information in the Hunger Walk material, that's what we're walking for this year. That's our goal. And we're actually very close to that. I went today and picked out the shelving, and we signed some paperwork, and I paid some bills, and we stripped out a 650 square foot space so that we can do basically what you would see in the vast majority of your pantries across the county. And that's something that we are really proud of, something that we're really glad we're able to provide for our clients. And I told them when I came on this year, I'm going to devote to operations. We're going to fix the operation. We're going to make this work. Next year, we're going to focus on programming. So look for programs next year. That's what we're going to do. So, one of my clients, a beautiful woman in her late 40s, one of my first clients that I met with there at John Knox, she came to me after she'd gone through the intake process, and she said, "I'm so glad that you're here, that this pantry is here, and let me tell you why." She said, "A week ago, I was homeless. I was staying on people's couches. I had spent a little bit of time in a hotel or motel. Someone had given her some money, and she'd spent some time there. But she'd been homeless over the course of the last 3 years. She'd been homeless about 75% of that time. Unable to hold down a job, unable to find work. She was a woman who had a little bit of a trouble with the English language. She was Hispanic and was struggling with learning English at first, and she's gotten to the point now where she's mastered that quite a bit better. But 3 years it took her to finally get herself established and get a job. And she was helped out of homelessness by an agency here in town that provided her with a trailer in the Cutlerville area. Now, she moved into the trailer with the clothes on her back and a bag full of clothing and other things. And she didn't have any utensils, cooking equipment, no furniture. So we were able to connect her with Covenant, which is another one of our support pantries, and they got her some furniture right away. So she was able to get a bed, and she was able to get a couch, and she was able to get a stove and a microwave and some pots and pans. And she came to me about a month later, and she was so excited. She'd been in her new home for over a month now. She had food in her cupboard, she had something to cook it with, she had something to serve it on, and she said, I wanted to thank you again for all that you did, but I got a problem. I said, oh, and she said, my daughter-in-law and my son are homeless, and they're moving in with me, and I need another bed. And so we contacted Covenant. We were able to get them another bed, which was really a blessing. And so we were also able to add the additional family members to her Access Pantry account, and we were able to give her more food as well, so to help her out again. She came back just a month ago, and she said, I would really like a sewing machine if you could find me one. And we did. And just to show you the ongoing relationship that we have with these clients, and the help that you all provide us and the walkers here provide us with through the Hunger Walk grant, all of those things, they add up, not just to put food on the table for people to help them transition from homelessness into having a home, but the help that you give helps restore lives, helps give people a chance to make a way for themselves in the world. And now with this sewing machine, she's able to take in a little bit of work on the side, do some help, repairing clothes for people. She sewed her own drapes. She's really very excited. And all of that kind of stuff comes from networking in groups like this and through the help that you guys provide through Hunger Walk. And so I'm very excited to be a part of this year. And I look forward to all the work that we'll do the next month or so leading up to that event. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Merren from John Pantry.